Long ago in the quiet village of Ndele, where every neighbor knew the other's secrets, life moved gently. The people of Ndele were skilled farmers. Their soil was rich, blessed by the spirits, and their crops grew tall and strong. But under all that peace and green, a deep worry had grown. For 10 long years, not a single woman in Ndele had carried a child. At first, the villagers thought it was just nature's delay. 1 year passed, then 2, then 5. The women began whispering to each other in hushed voices. The men stared at the sky, wondering what curse had befallen them. The elders called for sacrifices. They danced, they prayed, they begged the gods. But still, the wombs of Ndele remained empty. It was easier to bear because everyone shared the pain. No one was singled out. But that changed when something strange happened. One morning, people noticed the round belly of Ndele, wife of Tamuno. Whispers swept through the market like wind through dry leaves. Ndele is with child, a woman told her friend while picking yams. How can that be? It's been 10 years, her friend gasped. Soon all of Ndele was buzzing with questions. Some praised Tamuno, others narrowed their eyes. The men gathered at the square pretending to chat but really gossiping. Some clapped Tamuno on the back. Others looked at him like he'd done something forbidden. Rumors spread quickly. People said Tamuno had gone into the forest and made a deal with the spirits. Others claimed the child wasn't even his. What should have brought joy to Tamuno's home became a heavy burden. At the home of Chief Kesa, one of the oldest and richest elders, a group of men gathered. They were troubled. This isn't normal, said Chief Kesa, shaking his head. No child. For 10 years, then suddenly Ndele is pregnant? Something is wrong. We must ask Ikuro the priest to speak with the gods, another elder added, but not everyone agreed. Tamuno has always been an honest man. Should we throw stones without proof? Asked Elder Noni. Chief Kesa frowned. It is not accusation, it is protection. If dark things are happening, we must know before the whole village is harmed. So they agreed to call on Ikuro, the village priest. The shrine stood near the forest, among tall palms and old rocks. Tamuno and Ndele were called to stand before the elders. Ikuro faced them with a serious look. Tamuno, he said, no man in this village has brought forth a child in 10 years, but your wife now carries one. This is not ordinary. Tamuno stood by Ndele, eyes filled with sorrow. He had prayed for this child. He had hoped for joy. But now, his joy brought fear. I did nothing special, he said. We only prayed like everyone else. Ikuro raised his hands and began to chant. He called to the spirits asking for truth. Then he was silent. Finally, he turned to the crowd. The spirits are quiet, he said. This is not from the usual world. Something hidden is moving among us. Fear gripped the village. Some still believed Tamuno. Others were sure he had used forbidden ways. The peaceful village turned sour with suspicion. One night, a loud group stood outside Tamuno's compound. They shouted, demanding answers. Why should your wife be pregnant while ours are not? What have you done? Someone yelled. Inside, Tamuno and Ndele sat in fear. This is getting worse, Ndele whispered. Before Tamuno could reply, a hard knock shook the door. Chief Kesa's voice boomed. Come out, Tamuno. The village needs the truth. Tamuno knew hiding would make things worse. He stepped outside. The crowd went quiet. Chief Kesa stared him down. Why only you, Tamuno? Why now? Tamuno looked around. I swear on my forefathers, I've done nothing evil. We only prayed, just like you. But the people weren't convinced. Murmurs rose like smoke. Maybe he made a secret pact, someone shouted. Tamuno's stomach twisted. He had expected questions, but not this kind of fear. I am not a man of darkness, he replied. You all know me. I would never seek evil help. Chief Kesa's lips curled. Then let the gods decide. Let Ikuro perform the sacred test. Tamuno's heart pounded. The gods were not always gentle, but refusing would make him look guilty. "Let the priest test me," Tamuno said. "I have nothing to hide." As word of the coming ritual spread, Ndele split into two camps. Elder Noni defended Tamuno. "He's a good man," he said. "We must wait for truth." But Elder Deka was harsh. "If Tamuno has used dark forces, the gods may punish us all." The village elders were shaken. Not since the days of the great drought had such fear filled Ndele. Chief Oguno, the leader of Ndele, decided to seek wisdom from Tisha, the herbalist. "Tisha," he said, "people are afraid. Is this child a blessing or a curse?" Tisha stirred her calabash before speaking. "Many things lie buried in this land. Long ago, a promise was made to the gods, a promise of life in return for survival." Chief Oguno blinked. "What kind of promise?" "A sacrifice," she whispered. "Long ago, during a famine, the elders gave their word, but the village never fulfilled it. The gods waited." "So the barrenness is the gods' reminder?" he asked. "Yes," she said. "And now something has shifted. The gods have opened one womb, not in anger, but to wake us up." Oguno left, heart heavy with questions. The day of the ritual came. At the shrine, Ekuro prepared the sacred items. Tamuno and Mbali stood close. Chief Kesa and the other elders watched. Chief Oguno remained silent. He had not shared Tisha's words. Ekuro lifted his hands. "Spirits of the sky and earth, tell us the truth. Is this child a gift or a warning?" Turned to Tamuno and Mbali. They stepped forward. Ekuro chanted for a long time. Then silence. "The gods are angry," Ekuro said. Gasps filled the air. Chief Kesa stepped up. "I knew it. This child is not meant to be. We must stop this before doom falls on us." "No," Tamuno cried. "We did nothing wrong." But fear was louder than his words. "Maybe he hides charms," someone shouted. Then, a calm voice rose. It was Tisha, the herbalist. "Before we point fingers, ask yourselves, why now? Why did the gods stay silent for 10 years, then allow this one child?" Chief Kesa scoffed. "What are you saying?" "Maybe the gods are not angry with Tamuno," Tisha said. "Maybe they are angry with us, with those who forgot the old promises." Chief Oguno stepped forward. "What promises, Tisha?" "A sacrifice for prosperity," she said. "The gods gave. We did not give back." The crowd went silent. Could it be true? Elder Noni spoke up. "I remember old stories. We did promise, but we never fulfilled it." Chief Kesa's face darkened. "Then, why Tamuno?" Tisha looked at Mbali. "Because the child may bring balance. The gods are not punishing us, they are warning us." The villagers, once full of rage, now looked unsure. Some felt hope, others still feared. Chief Oguno raised his hand. "We must listen to the gods. If this child is our only chance to make things right, then we must not turn away." Ekuro nodded. "We must perform a ritual to restore balance. Only then will the truth be clear." Days later, Ekuro, Tisha, and the elders met to plan. "The gods want a sacrifice," Tisha said. "Not from Tamuno, from the elders, from those who lead." The elders gasped. Chief Kesa shook his head. "This is madness. That promise was made long before us." "The gods don't care for excuses," Tisha said. "You are the elders now. The debt must be paid." And so, the weight of the past rested heavy on their shoulders, as the child in Mbali's womb waited to be born into a village trembling with fear and hope. The village of Ndele had lived under the shadow of silence for a decade. Now, as the gods accepted the elders' sacrifice, the skies seemed to open. Ekuro, the village priest, stood at the sacred shrine, nodding with deep reverence. Tisha, the wise woman, had spoken. The gods would accept the blood of the elders as a symbol of their repentance. Chief Oguno stepped forward, voice strong and clear. "If this is the price to bring back life to Ndele, I will be the first." "This is madness," Chief Kesa shouted. "We were not there when the old promise was made. Why must we bleed for it?" But Oguno shook his head. We are the guardians now. If we don't act, Ndele will stay cursed. One by one, the elders agreed except Kesa, who stood apart furious. The elders gathered at the shrine. Ikuro made a shallow cut on each of their palms, letting their blood drip onto the sacred stones. As he prayed in the tongue of their ancestors, the flames around them roared and a fierce wind swept through. Then silence. Ikuro opened his eyes slowly. The gods have spoken. They accept the offering. A wave of relief passed over the elders, but Ikuro continued. The gods forgive Ndele, but they have warned us. We must never forget our promise. The child to be born shall be a sign of this forgiveness, a new beginning. But if we break our vow again, the consequences will be grave. The message spread across Ndele. Fear turned to hope. The curse was lifted. Children would return. Chief Oguno, his hand still bleeding, addressed the people. The gods have given us mercy. Let us walk in harmony with them and with one another. The villagers nodded, many now looking at Tamuno with newfound respect. Even those who once doubted him now honored him. But Chief Kesa stood at the edge, eyes dark and full of bitterness. To him, Tamuno's success was a threat. As Mbali's belly grew, so did the excitement. The village waited with bated breath for the birth of the first child in 10 years. When the day came, the entire village stood outside Tamuno's home. Inside, Tisha and the midwives helped Mbali through the pain. Then a baby's cry broke through the air. Joy exploded. Tamuno rushed inside. In Mbali's arms lay their baby, a strong, healthy boy, crying loud and proud. Tamuno knelt by her side, tears in his eyes. A son, he whispered. Truly we have been blessed. Outside, the village danced. Mothers wept, fathers smiled, and children laughed. Ikuro stood tall and declared, This child is not just a gift to Tamuno and Mbali. He is a sign that the gods have smiled upon us. He led a prayer, and the people bowed. But in the shadows, Chief Kesa watched. His heart was not at peace. The birth of this child, named Obina, meaning father's heart, only deepened his jealousy. While the village rejoiced, Kesa plotted in silence. He gathered his closest allies, wealthy men who had always followed his lead. This child, Kesa growled, is a threat to everything I built. The people see Tamuno as a savior. That should have been me. One of his men, Ikena, spoke softly. But the gods have spoken. If we go against them, it could bring ruin. Kesa slammed his hand on the table. Fools, this is not about gods. It's about power. We must make the people doubt Tamuno. The men exchanged worried glances. How? Someone asked. Tamuno has done no wrong. There are always ways. Kesa smiled coldly. We wait, then strike. Soon, rumors began. This time they questioned the child. Obina has strange marks, someone whispered. He's not just a child, he's a vessel of the gods, another said. Fear crept in again. Tamuno and Mbali remained unaware, caring for Obina with love. To them he was the answer to their prayers, but one evening Tamuno heard two men whispering. Tamuno thinks he's better than us. His son is not normal. And Tisha visits them every day, the other added. What if it's magic? Tamuno returned, home with heavy steps. Mbali, he said. They are starting to doubt us again. They fear Obina. Mbali's face froze. But he's a gift. How could they think that? Tamuno nodded. I believe Kesa is behind it. He fears losing his power. As the rumors spread, Tamuno and Mbali felt the sting of isolation once more. The final blow came when Chief Kesa called a village meeting. At the square, he stood tall. People of Ndele, he called. We were cursed with barrenness for 10 years. Then one man succeeds where all failed. You celebrated, but ask yourselves, have we been fooled? The crowd murmured. We've heard of strange marks, he continued. Tisha visits their home often. What if this child is not a blessing, But a curse, someone protested. But the gods accepted our sacrifice, Kesa sneered. And what if someone twisted their will? One of his men added fuel. What if Tisha used old magic? What if the child was created through spirits? Tamuno tried to speak, but Kesa interrupted. If you are innocent, let us examine the child. If he's clean, we will know. But if not, you must answer. Tamuno's heart thumped. He knew Kesa would twist anything to hurt them. Then Chief Oguno raised his voice. Enough. We already offered the sacrifice. The gods accepted it. I won't let this village be torn apart again. Still, a voice from the crowd called, "Let the gods decide." All eyes turned to Ekuro. Though silent until now, he nodded. The next day, the village gathered at the shrine. Ekuro placed Obina in the sacred circle. If the child is from the gods, they will protect him. If he carries darkness, they will reject him. Tamuno and Mbali watched, hearts pounding. The villagers held their breath. Suddenly, a beam of sunlight shone down. Obina giggled, full of joy. Gasps filled the air. The gods had spoken. The child was protected. Tears rolled down Tamuno and Mbali's faces. Their son was safe. The village bowed in prayer. But Kesa stood unmoved, anger still burning. He muttered, "This isn't over." Later, the elders reaffirmed their loyalty to the gods. More women began to conceive. The village flourished again, but Kesa's jealousy only grew. Tamuno is just a farmer. He cannot rise above me. I've led this village for years. His ally warned him. The gods have spoken. Leave it. But Kesa waved him off. People are easily swayed. We'll find another way. That night, Kesa went to bed with evil plans in his heart, but fate had other ideas. The next morning, a loud cry came from his home. Villagers rushed over. His wife wept. He went to sleep and never woke up. Shocked murmurs followed. He was well yesterday. Some pitied him. Others whispered, "The gods have judged." As years passed, children filled Ndele. The village thrived. And though Tamuno and his family never sought power, the people honored them for bringing back life. The people of Ndele never forgot their promise to the gods. Thank you for listening to this tale. One lesson it teaches is this. Some people will always feel threatened by your blessings. Their fear will make them fight you. But do not let it break your spirit. Walk your path, hold your head high, and never doubt your worth. Share this story with those you love. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, farewell.